Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chris Beats More Sports Podcast. I know I haven't filmed an episode in a long time, but hey, I'm back. I decided to record a podcast today because of all the big and exciting news that has been happening with Kentucky football. Kentucky football, they have added two new running backs to their roster with adding Ramon Jefferson and then also D. Beckwith. D. Beckwith was also playing on the defensive side for Tennessee. And then Ramon Jefferson. He's been a running back his whole college career, so I'm excited to have them both. But I'm a little nervous that maybe Chris Rodriguez will be suspended for a little bit amount of time now because at first Matt Jones was saying of KSR was saying that he could be, suspended for the full year. And then another KSR writer came out. I forgot who it was, but I think they said that they thought he was only going to be suspended 4 games, but adding two new running backs today, and of course, the guy from Tennessee, D. Beckwith, he could obviously, play on the defensive side or even tight end. Right now, he's listed as a running back for Kentucky, but it'll be interesting to see what will happen with UK and with Chris Rodriguez. Obviously, I don't want him suspended for the full year. I Hopefully it's only 3 or 4 games. That's what I'm hoping for. But I'm a little nervous, with like I said, adding two new running backs to the team. And let's get right into it though with the players. With Ramon Jefferson this past year, he had over 1,100 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns, which is insane. I know it's FSC he was competing against. So that's insane still, though, that he had, over 1,100 yards rushing. And compare that to Chris Rodriguez, he had nearly 1,400 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. So Ramon Jefferson had, yes, 300 fewer yards compared to Chris Rodriguez, but he also had, 4 more touchdowns compared to him. So I'm excited to have Ramon Jefferson on the team. He could definitely be a great ad, and hopefully maybe our first running back until Chris Rodriguez comes back. Whenever he does come back, hopefully, like I said, he's not suspended for the full year. But last I heard is he will probably be suspended 4 games. But our roster is filled with players. I mean, we have 7 running backs on the team and 1 fullback. I'll get into the list of running backs now. We have Chris Rodriguez Jr., Kavasier Smoke, Michael Drennan II, Juton McClain, Lavelle Wright. Then we have the 2 new additions with Ramon Jefferson and D. Beckwith as running backs. And then you also have now Justice Dingle, who is now a fullback for UK. So Kentucky is definitely loaded on the offensive side with running backs. Maybe you should call Kentucky running back U or RBU. That would be funny, but I'm definitely excited to see what Kentucky can do this coming up year with the great additions we have with Ramon Jefferson, D. Beckwith, and then also Justice Dingle moving to fullback. But like I said, this past spring game, I went to the game and a lot of players did show out. Chris Rodriguez was showing out. Michael Drennan and Juton McClain, I saw was getting a lot of playing time. And everybody was saying that Kavasier Smith or Kavasier Smoke could be like the fifth string running back now. And I don't know where he is listed on the depth charts at UK. It'll be interesting because he came back for another year when, he could have left, but he decided not to. So I'll be interested to see what Kavasier Smoke can do this coming up year without Chris Rodriguez. I think Chris, or not Chris, I think Kavasier Smoke's best season at UK was in 2019. I think it was his sophomore year. But this past year, he had over 400 rushing yards and then also had 4 touchdowns. So I'm excited to see what Kavasier Smoke can do because he had so much potential whenever he first came here at UK. And then slowly, he hasn't really improved over the years. He's kind of, gone down a little bit or, just stayed the same. Definitely not. He definitely hasn't really improved as much as I thought he was going to over his course at UK. But I'm excited to see what he can do while Chris Rodriguez is gone. And then also, I'm excited to see, what Michael Drennan, Juton McLean, Lavelle Wright can all do this coming up year because they did also well, or they all did great while at the spring game whenever I watched them play, back in March, whenever the spring game was. All I know is the spring game was very cold. I did not enjoy it. It snowed a little bit, rained a little bit. We had all 4 seasons while at the game. Sunny at times, rainy at times. It was definitely not the best game, but I really still enjoyed it. I really enjoyed, seeing the team play or practice as a whole. And I can't wait to see what this coming up year can do, what UK can do. I'm expecting them at worst 8 wins before the bowl game. I think UK can get 8 wins easily. I think UK should also be ranked in the top 25 this coming up year before the season even begins. I mean, I think UK should probably be, I would say, top 20s. I would say between the 18th to 20th range before the season begins. Hopefully, they will be ranked, but I really am excited to see what these new transfers can do. Like I said, Ramon Jefferson and D Beck with I run a fan page account on Instagram, and some fan randomly asked me today, "Have I heard any information about Ramon Jefferson?" And I told him no, and this was before any news or information came out later today that Ramon Jefferson would be committing to UK. And the guy asked me, "Do I have any info?" And I said, "You know what? I think it's happening. I think UK will suspend, Chris Rodriguez 3 or 4 games, not a long time." And I think they thought, that Chris Rodriguez was going to be suspended a lot longer, which he could still be after adding 2 running backs. But like I said, I think UK laid off of Ramon Jefferson. That's what I told the fan earlier this morning. And then obviously I was wrong because, 12 hours later, or not even 12, probably like 8 hours later, news broke loose that Ramon Jefferson has committed to UK. And then a few minutes later after that, D Beck was also committed to UK. But it'll be interesting. Like I said, this coming up year, I'll get into the stats of every player. Like I said, Chris Rodriguez had nearly 1,400 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns this past year. K. Bassier Smoke, 400 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. So basically, every 100 yards, he would get a touchdown for UK. Then Michael Drennan, he didn't really get a lot of playing time last year. He only had 7 attempts for 17 yards. Juton McLean, 34 attempts for 165 yards. Lavelle Wright, 9 attempts for 118 yards. So a lot of the, other running backs, they didn't really get to play a lot this past year. And I'm expecting that to really change this coming up year. I expect, Michael Drennan to at least get probably, I would say, definitely improved by at least 30 attempts, I would say, he'll have this year, with Chris Rodriguez probably being out for, 4 to 6 games, I would say. Then Juton McLean, he had 34 attempts this past year. I would expect, 50 or 60. Lavelle Wright, I would say about also 30 attempts. So it'll be interesting to see what UK can do this coming up year with all these different running backs. Like I said, they have 7 running backs right now and 1 fullback. So that makes, the roster of 8 backs on the team. And some people were saying, could we see UK, maybe run a wishbone formation like, Georgia Tech did a few years ago whenever UK lost in the bowl game. So sad, very bad memories. But Georgia Tech, ran the wishbone against UK and they beat us, even though it was very low scoring. I think that was 2016 that bowl game was. So it'll be interesting to see what UK can do with their new offense, with also, their new offensive coordinator coming in, Rich Scangarello. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do as our new offensive coordinator. I was reading something that he could be doing a 2 running back system this coming up year. I think he's going to definitely utilize the running backs a lot more this year in the passing game with, halfback flip screens, running back screens for our running backs. So I think definitely our running backs will be more in the passing game compared to just blocking the whole game. So I'll definitely be happy about that. I can't wait to see, what Rich Scangarello can do this coming up year. And like I said, adding, two new players to our team with Ramon Jefferson and D Beck with I wish them the best this coming up year. I definitely think they can add a lot to our offense whenever uh like let's say, Chris Rodriguez is gone for 4 or 5 games being suspended. That would definitely add a lot to our offense in my opinion. Or if another running back gets injured like Tavante Smoke. Hopefully none of our players get injured, but like I said, we have a lot of players at the running back position. So I think we'll be fine with that. It will just be interesting to see how Coach Stoops and Rich Scangarello will use all these players in our system. But like I said, I think UK will easily be an 8 or 9 win team before the bowl game, and then hopefully, we'll be competing for the SEC championship game against Alabama. But it all comes down to if we can beat all these top talented teams in our conference with being able to beat Florida at the very beginning of the year, being able to beat Georgia, Tennessee, it all comes down to that. But like I said, UK, they are going to have a great year with or without Chris Rodriguez Jr. Being suspended or not, which I think he will be. Like everybody's talking about him. He's going to be suspended at least probably 3 or 4 games. But like I said, excited for this year. Just comment down below. What do you think will happen with UK? Do you think Chris Rodriguez will be suspended 3 or 4 games? Comment how many games you think Chris Rodriguez will be suspended for. And then also comment down below. Do you think UK is prepared for Chris Rodriguez to be suspended for a long time with, having 2 new players added to the roster for the running back position, making it 7 running backs and 1 fullback? So just comment that down below, and let me hear what are your thoughts and comments about UK adding 2 new players on the team with Ramon Jefferson and D Beck with. But that's all I have today. It was a short podcast, but be prepared for more podcasts in the future, especially during football season. I'm going to try to bring on some former Kentucky football players onto my podcast, but until then, I'll see you all soon.